Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh yeah.
And we're live, guys.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going? We're across the way water tower. I'm Evan,
I'm Steven,
and I play guitar and do the production.
and I play the drums. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, Rob, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Rob with the project Aseity and Life Renewed. Happy to be here as well.
Thank you all for coming. So I'll start off with the hard question first, and then we'll get into everything else.
Cool.
Well, I'll ask Dylan's question first. What inspired you of the name?
So our name came from a little story that happened to our vocalist Matt back in like 2014, 2015. His girlfriend at the time, he was at her house in Spring Valley, New York, and he was giving our buddy directions to get there. And the only landmark that was kind of in the area was this white water tower. So he was like, "Oh, dude, it's across the white water tower," and I think they repainted it and it's like blue now, so it's not even white anymore. But yeah, it was actually a direction that our vocalist was giving our buddy. So that's the story behind the name.
Sick.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I guess I can ask the next question.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about switching it up some in your genre to test new things?
Yeah, we're always experimenting with our sound. Like on our new record, we're doing a lot of like synth based style metalcore, the electronic core stuff, like influenced by bands like I See Stars and I Set My Friends on Fire, Attack Attack. You know, the bands we've been on tour with this year. And yeah, we're just trying to experiment, just do some new stuff, not necessarily sticking to one sound, just kind of doing a lot of different things. And yeah, we just want to be as creative as possible and not give ourselves any boundaries or limits, I guess. Do you want to say anything about it?
I mean, no one likes to hear a 10-song album of verse, chorus songs. So we try to just be out the box as much as we can while, somewhat sticking to metal. But yeah, we just like to have fun with it.
That's sick. Yeah.
Like,
Seeing y'all, I saw y'all at Greensboro, North Carolina. Your last
Oh, yeah.
the Attack, and
that
yeah,
was fun, dude.
very evident on that.
That was an interesting show.
All right. So, hard question time. What do you want to leave as your legacy?
So it's definitely a hard one. But I guess on a personal level, I just want to see or hear how our music can affect or yeah, I guess affect people's lives or how people interpret it for themselves and how they define it and what it means to them. And I just like to see that connection from artist to listener. And I don't know. I've never really thought about the word legacy as far as my own career goes before. So it's definitely a hard question. But I definitely want our music to be heard, and I'm happy with how far we've gotten so far. So what do you think?
It's a very interesting question, especially for me. I actually never even wanted to be a musician. I just I like jamming for fun, but to like take it serious and stuff like that, it was never an intention. Our bassist Miles pretty much just begged me, and after you play that first show in front of 5 people, you just get addicted. And this was my first band. I know he can't say the same. I know a lot of people in general can't say the same, but I guess I got very lucky and fortunate that this is my first and only band. The legacy I would create, I just want to be known as that down to earth band that was just cool, while like not giving a fuck, but in the sense of just doing it, just having fun, just being yourselves, being known as just being yourself, like while having our own sound. And yeah, just like he said, having certain impacts on people. It's an amazing feeling. So as long as we're just known as this, that the band that just did it and was cool doing it and having fun, it's all that matters.
That's sick. That's sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask another question. How long are you guys together writing before you felt the music was fitting to play out?
So like I said, the name started in like 2015, but we really didn't start playing our first like pre-sale shows with any like notable bands or anything until like 2017. There's a EP that it doesn't not exist on the internet, but it's like unbelievably hard to find. They came out in like 2015, I think. So if you could find it, good luck. But yeah, Phantom Pains is like really the first work that we were satisfied with playing out for people, and then from there just kind of blossomed the sound, and we just got more experimental and more loose, and like Steven said, we just want to have more fun with it from there.
It was kind of backwards because like usually people would have like the music recorded and all that, then they go play shows. We were playing shows without really like
Having
any
music.
recordings, and like we were having like this like little hype around us and like selling tickets and drawing a couple heads, and it was weird because like the hype around us wasn't based off our audio, just like our live performances.
That's
I remember finally getting Riot getting released that song. I think we literally were doing pre-sale shows for about a whole year before we had like an actual
Anything.
professional like mixed track.
That's sick. I miss those days, to be honest, where you can do that. I've done that in a couple projects in the past. So
Yeah, like, it was fun, but it's just so great to have a full-length album now.
Something
I've
that
been
we're
waiting
like-
for that. It took 5 years.
Yeah, something that we can like front to back say we're 1000% proud of, that we like put so much work into and time
Absolutely.
into.
I think it was worth the wait just because like you worked with Chris Wiseman, and that's a wizard right there. You had Shadow Intent and Currents.
Yeah.
So I think like the wait is worth it, to put out a sick album that people have been buzzing about.
Yeah, Chris is such a great producer. He's been such a phenomenal guy to work with. We worked with him on Phantom Pains, and working with him on the full length was just even better experience. And yeah, we gel so well together. Like the first time him and I personally sat down together to write and record, it was definitely like a really, really fun experience for me. Like I walk out of his studio every day like feeling like I learned something, whether it's about production, songwriting, editing, guitar, just literally anything. He's such a talented guy.
Yeah, he's been the man for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we took full advantage of COVID since he's always on the road, not even just one, but two successful bands. So he's on the road frequently. We took pure advantage of him being home for that whole year. We were at his house 3-4 days a week for like 8-9 months.
Damn.
Just like
That's-
grinding this album out. We were very tedious with it. But yeah, we took our damn time, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah, honestly, if it weren't for COVID, the album probably would have came out in like June of 2020.
And
because
differently, just like
Yeah.
it would have been
it
different.
would have sounded different. Like he had that tour booked in like Europe with like I think it was Polaris, I want to say, but that got canceled. A bunch of other stuff got canceled, obviously, and we ended up like being able to take our time with the record and really just do what we wanted and make sure every detail was the way it needed to be and the way we wanted it to be. So yeah, Chris is the man. Shout out.
All right. Last Supper scenario here. You get 12 people. One has to be a female. It could be musicians. It could be cartoon characters.
Wow. Okay.
You have a separate table for family, but I'm saying in general.
Right. Okay. What do you think?
That's a hard one.
I'll go Matt Mahana start for one.
I thought you said I thought it was a female.
No, you just have to have one female.
Oh, just one female.
No,
At
out of the,
At
at least out of the count, you get one.
least.
One female.
At least.
One one female.
I'm picking Miles's dad.
Oh yeah, Bud Rebel. He's a character.
We need Bud Rebel at this
Yeah.
table.
He every sentence this guy says is just like
Oh my god.
hysterical.
Miles's dad is the goat.
Yeah.
He's literally the goat. He's just the funniest guy ever.
Yeah.
In the most unintentional of ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love that guy. So yeah, Miles' dad. Damn, 12 people.
This is gonna be hard, dude. This is gonna be hard.
Shit.
Would it make it easier if you pick 6 and he picks 6?
Yeah, we can.
So
we can narrow that down.
cut it down.
Yeah. So I said Matt Mahana.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Just because I got a little flyer from the last show I saw of his before COVID. Dweezil Zappa. I'm gonna go with for number 2. 'Cause I'm a really big fan of him. Really good guitar player. Frank Zappa's son.
I'm picking Shaquille O'Neal because I feel like he would just be really fun to talk to.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
looking
one.
for just like famous people that would just be dope. All right, The
Okay.
Rock,
Elon
Shaquille
Musk.
O'Neal, who?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, 100.
Yeah.
freak- Martin Shkreli because
Oh,
he just got
Joe
out of
Rogan.
jail.
Yeah, Martin Shkreli. Yeah.
I want to hear the Wu-Tang album.
Yeah.
I think that's 5. I think I technically did 6, but you got to pick now.
I'll go Chris Rock and Johnny Depp.
All right, we got to do Dave Chappelle then too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I think we got a bunch of good characters.
We got 3 more.
Um, damn.
Wait, you said it could be fictional characters too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be a Smurf. I don't care.
All right, all right. Stan from American Dad,
Oh,
and then Roger.
Bucky the Beaver.
Yes, and Bucky the Beaver from
Yeah.
Bucky's. Perfect. All right, we're
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Next part of that, what are you serving?
Tacos, obviously. That's
Yeah,
all I eat.
That's it. If you go to our merch table, there's a tips for tacos thing on top of a giant stuffed taco.
Yeah, I saw
All right,
that.
Yeah.
on tacos from everywhere around the planet, but also an In-N-Out corner.
Mm,
Okay.
my heart and soul.
I still
Yeah.
haven't had In-N-Out yet, but
Dude,
I
so
haven't
good.
had it in years, but
Good. It's good.
It's amazing.
good.
Like the 3 things I look forward to on tour: In-N-Out, Bucky's, Cookout.
I'm in North
That
Carolina.
was so good.
I'm in North Carolina, and that's the origin of cookouts. So
Dude,
I can't believe how good it was.
every time we go down there, it's like must hit.
Maybe
Absolutely.
I went to a rundown one, but I was like, this looks terrible. And I got the food. I was like, that's the most Boston chicken sandwich I ever
Dude, the
had.
hush puppies. Come on,
yeah,
man.
I just had to cook out today too.
See, there you go. Cultured man.
Facts.
So I think it's time for me to ask you a question because that was so entertaining. So
Sure. do that.
So I guess what's the next move for the band?
So we have a lot of touring plans coming up for the year. Even more as of today that we just found out. our
I'm just
schedule
finding out. Apparently,
keeps
things have
getting
been
crazier.
established. I'm like, wait, what? We're doing this?
We'll,
Like, what the
we'll
hell?
definitely give some more information on that soon once we can, and about what bands we're going out with and where we're going and whatnot. But yeah, we're gonna be all over the place like pretty much the whole year. So
a couple little things in July, 2 tours in August that are separated by a day, and then some
stuff
cool
in the
stuff in
fall.
October.
we'll have some festival dates here and there, and yeah, it'll be a
But the
fun
big
year.
the big question is, are you hitting Jersey?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
We actually have one show that's announced right now that is in Jersey. We're doing August 6th at the Litter Box for the Meadow Antics Podcast Festival. We're doing that.
Starcade's in Jersey.
Oh yeah, we're doing that too. Skywood Drive, July 23rd at Artie's in Frenchtown. We're
That's
doing
awesome.
Okay.
2 shows in Jersey. Are announced
I
right
will
now.
try to make
Sorry about
them. I'll try to make one of them moist.
that. My
Yeah,
brain
let
is
me
like
know.
so fried of like what we're doing.
Yeah, well,
We'll take care of you. Let me know which one you can make it out.
I'll let you know.
Please do.
But yeah, other than that, we have some other plans for like new music soon. We're gonna definitely keep content rolling. We want to do like an instrumental version of the album eventually. Some
We
more
have
fun
some
stuff like
B-side
that.
tracks too.
Yeah, we got some other like leftover songs from the album recording that we're gonna put out eventually. So yeah, we got stuff on the that's coming up. I was gonna say back burner, but it's like the front burner, I guess. So yeah,
All right, I'm going to give you 5 apiece here.
okay.
Desert Island Scenario, 5 CDs.
You want to go first?
Like our favorite 5 cities we want to play, or
So you said CDs,
CDs?
like Desert Island. Like what CDs would you bring with you?
I heard cities.
You could bring
Sorry.
cities as well, but
CDs still exist, kind of.
Oh no, I'm a big
have
physical collector.
A shelf of them right here.
You
actually.
start. You start.
Okay, so I'm gonna shout out the one that we're listening to right now, which is "Colors" by Between the Berry and Me. So,
Man of
yeah,
Culture, also North Carolina.
we got White Walls on right now. We got a little background music on, but so yeah, "Colors." I'm gonna shout out my favorite post rock record, "Hex" by Bark Psychosis, which is a record from like '94. I'll go this random experimental record called it's by a band called Godspeed You Black Emperor. It's called F sharp A sharp Infinity. That's 3. And then 4 I will go for
Yeah, see, I went to my YouTube really quick.
I got my Spotify up here.
All right. I've been listening
cheater.
to. Nah, sorry, dude. It's
Yeah. Catch for Us the Foxes by Me Without You.
Dude, it's
really
so
cool
strange.
like post-hardcore record.
dude, it's so similar.
And Death Consciousness by Have a Nice Life, which is a really cool experimental record.
I've also been listening to The Flood by Mice and Men a lot.
Oh yeah, that's a great album.
Yeah. I Set My Friends on Fire's first record.
Yeah. Can't spell slow down
The entire Era discography. I can't just pick. I mean, obviously Augment by Era, but like
their
new
self-titled
stuff-
was fucking awesome.
Yeah, their new album's incredible. Brockhampton, I will listen to forever. That will never get old
First
for me.
Saturation.
The Saturation series is literally like, oh, that album is incredible. I absolutely slept on With Roots Above by Devil Wears Prada.
Wow.
Yeah.
About that so much,
I will admit I've absolutely slept on it. It was just one of those. Devil Wears Prada is a band that I never particularly hated, but never really sat down and listened to. It was just one of those bands that were always there, and I just never listened to. I saw them the 10-year To Plant a Seed for We Car, and the performance just absolutely blew me away. They are incredible live.
You missed their heyday though, then, man.
No, I know, but listen, I went to shows and I was like actively listening to music in like that 2008-2012 era.
Okay.
They snuck past me, man.
That's
But,
crazy.
But yeah, I love this album, dude. Assistant to the Regional Manager,
Like,
Big Wiggly, Danger, Ben as a Kid. Like, oh, I can't.
I remember when Zombie, the EP, came out and they toured Whitechapel, and I thought my rib cage were about to be broken because it was just that smashed. Like, people just lost their mind with Outnumbered came out. And even now, when they play Outnumbered, no one survives.
I severely slept on them. I will admit it. At least their old stuff. But yeah, that album I've been listening to it nonstop. Dayseeker, one of my favorite bands. I love them.
They're pretty killer. What album though from Dayseeker then?
Really, all of them. I do like Origin.
Man of Culture there.
I mean, what it means to be defeated will always hold a place in my heart. The Quiet Disconnect means a lot to me. But yeah, just the whole discography.
Their last record was really fucking good too.
Their new single is incredible. Neon Grave.
I got to see that when they did a headliner. That was really they killed it.
I'm so pissed I couldn't go, dude. I would go to see them every time they would come to the East Coast up until like maybe 3 years ago. Every time.
So, what was the worst pit you ever been in?
Worst pit.
Like
Oh,
worst
man.
pit I've ever in terms of assholes or in terms of it just sucked?
Violence.
No, meaning like you got wrecked.
Oh, I got wrecked. Okay.
Dude, first time I saw
skate-
Kublai Khan.
Skate and surf. with a Day to Remember and Lil Wayne. And
What
yeah,
was
when
this?
people were like bumping and grinding a Lil
Oh.
Wayne, and then it was nuts with a Day to Remember.
That's
That was so
interesting.
cool. Yeah, I went in the pit for maybe 5 seconds. I was like, I'm finally going to do it. I go in there, I get wailed. I think I was like 16, 17. I got annihilated. I was like, yeah, never again. And I lied. I kept going in.
Day to remember, getting rocked at a Day to Remember. I think that's special because like I never hear about that.
I mean, it was Skate and Surf Festival. It's massive.
I usually hear about people getting dropped from crowd surfing because it's usually like 150 crowd surfers at a.
Yeah, I don't do crowd surfing. I just did a lot of moshing pre back surgery. Now I'm retired.
I think the worst I was ever in was Kitty.
Really?
I got, yeah. I mean, it was actually, I believe, I could be wrong. It was Disturbed and Kitty.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Small venue, Birch Hill, not longer existing. I got rocked. Like, best
It
time.
happened at literally any show if the vibe is right, honestly.
It's really hard for me to say what I got rocked with because I've usually the one that up until recently, up until like the last 5 years, I was the one rocking people. So I don't remember. I have a vague memory of the Mosh Lives tour, which was Muir, Volumes, The Artist Murder, Sworn In, and Gideon.
Oh, it sounds violent.
In Northern Virginia, and this was my first time seeing Thy Art. And mind you, I saw like a couple weeks prior Carnifex and I Declare War. So that one I caused too many bloody noses. But this one is like I'm gonna get in here for. And this is 2015, so like that they're just about to put the next record out, and I just remember getting in and 3 punches back to back, and I was like, I am backing up, I'm good. But Thy Artist Murder would be the band then.
Can't even imagine what a pit like that is.
They're so tight.
You wouldn't have thought it, but I went to it was Fuel and 3 Doors Down. I'm saying, I mean, when they first came out, like when Shimmer came out, and I went crowd surfing. I'm a big guy. Went crowd surfing. They, what do you call it? I got pushed to where all the little teeny boppers were. I went boom.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, never been crowd surfing before. This is the time to do so. Yeah, it wasn't the right time to do so. I went boom. Took me a couple minutes to catch my breath, but I was like, all right, I'm not going back up. Not here, at least.
That's sometimes the random shows. Like I remember seeing POD in a small like venue called Shaka's in Virginia Beach, and this is like there was anything special going on with him in 2015, and it was just a bunch of small local bands and then them. And I just remember when Set It Off dropped from the
oh my god,
I got literally kicked in the stomach, and I flipped his leg. Like he kicked me so hard, you hear kick. And I just like flipped over his leg because he kicked me. Like, where did that come from? Stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
If you could pick your own bill, local and not local, who do you want on it, and where?
I actually put on my story like this morning that I want to tour with D's Nuts because I just love that band so much. They're so hard.
I've never heard of them, but
They're from like Australia. They're like
okay.
Post-hardcore punk type beat. They're dope. Really dope.
It's Riff City.
Big riffs. Yeah.
Dude, well, hold on. Where would it be? Before we even get the lineup, where would the ideal show be?
Like you have to pick a venue in 5 bands. Something that would be probably easier to determine. Like Worcester Palladium. How about that? Because that's like a big one up there.
Yeah, I would love to play there
I've
too.
actually never been there.
Yeah,
I would love to play there.
we gotta get a little bigger before we play there.
My first thought was the Orpheum in Tampa because it's just like one of my favorite fucking venues. That's so fun playing there. and I'm excited to eventually.
I'm down to do
come back.
Palladium just because we haven't played there.
But yeah, Palladium would be dope.
Who's opening?
So we'll go Palladium. Okay.
We should open so the card will be stacked.
Yeah.
All right, we're opening.
All right, we're opening.
We're opening.
So that means
Who's support?
uh
Who do you want to play with badly? It's like out of the picture. It's like far fetched.
it's far fetched.
You said D's nuts, so bring him.
All right,
bring
yeah. All right, cool.
These nuts is two
Right
of something, 2 of X. And then the 3 slot, we're gonna go.
I want to play with Currents.
Yeah, Currents.
All right, Currents.
We'll revive for number 4 every time I die.
So bring back every time I die for one show.
for the 4th slot.
Sold out.
Headliner, Velamaya.
Oof.
Wow, that's interesting. They killed it though. I saw him recently. I just saw him.
I
Saturday.
want to play with them really bad,
Yeah.
and I know that's not happening anytime soon. So
I think y'all would fit honestly.
dude, it would be nuts,
That would
man.
be great.
But yeah,
Lucas does give Miles like vocal lessons. So shout out Lucas.
Oh yeah, Lucas did give Miles vocals lessons prior to the album.
Nice. That's
I think he actually helped with anxiety.
Yeah, we did.
awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah, Fail Miles fucking awesome.
It was cool to hang out. Me and the vocalist of my FSC got to hang out with Lucas for like after the show. It was really sick.
he's
Yeah.
a really nice dude.
He
Oh,
is.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's dream lineup. Random dream lineup.
And it's interesting you would put Velamaya over every time I die though.
Well, yeah. it would
If
be
we're
the
really
one,
getting
yeah.
to the nitty gritty, then yeah, I guess.
But I think that's also a perfect slot because like you'd be you sure have the biggest crowd for them, and then they might stick around with Velamaya afterwards.
Yeah.
Every time I die is the secret set there, and then Veil.
All right, I'm gonna throw a twist on this. Female fronted.
Well, Spirit Box would be dope to play with. That'd be fun. I want to bring back I Wrestled a Bear once though, specifically.
With Kristen, the original, or Courtney has to do double duty.
Nah,
Original.
Courtney,
OG.
because Hail Mary is my favorite record.
Tastes
yeah,
like
so-
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
So
Courtney's
Courtney has to
doing
do double
double.
duty. Oof.
Yeah. And then Red Handed Denial for sure. I've always wanted to play with them.
Shout out to Conquer Divide.
Yeah, and Conquer.
Yeah. Y'all to toured with them. That's So my project's female fronted, so maybe that's why you said that.
Oh, that's fire.
So
Toy.
So are we doing like another 5-band headliner like show, same kind of thing, but everybody's female fronted other than across.
Actually,
we could
the
do that.
Yeah, you
What's
just
it?
name them: Spirit Box, Conquer, and then the other 3 bands. that
the
you
rest of
just-
the Bear ones. Or does that count as one?
What's up?
they're like
Because you mentioned Rest of Bear once, and because you like Hail Mary.
Oh shit! No, that's 2 different entities.
Yeah.
It's 2 different.
actually,
Okay.
it's 2 different
You
entities.
you also you need a headliner. You need a big
Yeah.
headliner.
Spirit Box isn't headlining.
No, we'll get like Evanescence.
Yeah.
Not to say.
And they're only playing their hit song 7 times over and over again.
You could get Ginger.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. We fucking played with them. I feel like
really?
Yeah, I
You-
feel stupid. Thanks for
Oh,
making me feel
that's
dumb.
awesome.
That's
You
sick.
could, you could get Ginger. There's
How did we
Dying
forget
Oath.
Ginger,
There's
Love Dying Oath.
there's Dying Oath. There's Ginger. There's Forever May Fall.
Dude, Ginger was incredible.
I
live.
feel like if we played with Dying Wish, that'd be dope.
Oh yeah, Dying Wish.
Emma's pretty cool.
Yeah, that band's dope.
And there's
Yeah,
Infected Rain.
You know who was actually really cool? We played with this band in Chattanooga, which I was just about to bring up because coincidentally, I think every other band on that one show was female fronted other than us, if I'm not mistaken. It was our one off date with Conquer Divide after our Attack tour with them. It was like the day after the Greensboro show. And this band called Speakeasy from the area was really fucking good. So shout out that band.
Yeah, they're good.
Female fronted.
Okay, so I do this every episode, so we'll get this out of the way.
All right.
You can flip it on me. Ask me anything.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
I guess you can ask me too, because I'm a musician.
What's your guys' like favorite record that's come out this year so far? It could be like any genre. It doesn't even have to be metal.
Well, that for me right now, it's Monuments and Stasis.
Oh, word.
I cannot think of the title of the name, but I'll tell you the band's name though. As everybody knows, I'm a huge Korn fan, so their new CD that came out.
Oh, word. Yeah.
In Requiem, is this going on in Requiem and Requiem? Stuff like that?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I'm bad with CDs names.
I
No one
haven't
has
listened to it
CDs
yet,
anymore.
but I need to.
It's all Spotify. Like no one has CDs anymore.
I do, but I mean my collection's in storage. But yeah, I have
Same.
thousands sitting and records sitting.
Oh, that's awesome though. Yeah, well, the new Korn album's really cool.
It's interesting.
I grew up on. I mean, I love most Korn records, mainly the records that have Brian on them. The ones that don't have Brian,
Yeah, I feel that. I saw them like 2014 with Slipknot, who I'm gonna go see tomorrow. Actually,
God,
how
wild is that show?
Yeah, it was King, 810, Korn, and Slipknot, like Izod.
What?
Jersey. Yeah, it was a sick lineup.
What? Who survived?
Not me. I was like 12 or some shit. I don't know.
Not to date myself here, but I was at the first Family Value store.
Oh, that's dope though.
Oh yeah.
And they're kind of doing that again with Evanescence and Korn going out this year.
Yeah.
So like they haven't done that since the Family Value tour.
That is the only show I'm gonna miss. I've been to every show that came to Jersey.
Oh wow.
Family Values.
It's just the location where it is. I don't like going there. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm. That tour is interesting because they got like POD for a few dates, and they've got Fuel or someone else for a few dates. It's weird. They like split up the tour where there's support on this, West Coast and support on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But I was like, I love POD, so if they came to North Carolina, I'm losing my shit and going. But I'm gonna still try to go because Evanescence is like the biggest influence for CAT, and being the vocalist actually is from Hot Springs, Arkansas, so not too far from Little Rock. So.
Hell yeah.
So we got those two records out of the way. So we both said what are any other questions?
You said you're from Jersey?
Yep.
We're in Jersey.
Central.
Well, some people say that doesn't exist.
Tomato. Middlesex. To be Pacific, Middlesex County.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of Jersey, you ready for God Forbid's reunion?
God forbid.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Yes, I am. I was actually with Byron about a month ago.
Oh, that's dope. That's exciting.
I got to interview Byron a couple months ago. Yeah, that was an amazing interview.
Oh, that's amazing. I've been on Doc's podcast with my music a couple times, the X-Man, and
yeah.
like God Forbid was definitely an influence for me growing up.
Yeah, I spoke to. Well, one of my friends is good friends with Corey, so he might be popping on eventually soon.
Oh, that's cool. Corey's awesome. Corey's wild. I'm curious who's going to be the second guitar player since I don't think Dallas is coming back.
I'm interested to find that out myself, but
I'm going to throw it out there. I feel like it's Ollie Steele that used to be in Monuments.
That guy's mad talented.
Mad talented.
Yeah.
Only because, like, on X-Men podcast, he literally spoke to Ollie and he said, if we get an offer, would you do it, Ollie? Literally on the air. So
on the spot.
On the spot.
Yeah. And then one of the last Bad at Wolves tours, he came in and filled in when Kane had to leave.
Oh, shit.
So
should be interesting. So I'm pretty much 15 minutes away from Starland Ballroom and PNC Art Center.
Oh, lucky you.
We were just at Starland. We saw the Under Oath show there.
I wish I knew. I would have came and said hello.
Dude, that show was so sick. Fucking
with Stray and
Spirit
Omens.
Bad
Omens.
Omens.
Bad Omens. I saw them. They absolutely killed that show.
Dude, Stray from the Path was nuts. I was like
The-
really impressed with them. Bad Omens I've seen a bunch of times. Like I saw them on their first tour. We played with them and like right before COVID. Like not that they didn't impress me. I just kind of know what to expect with them at this point. They're fucking awesome though. But Stray killed it.
The funny thing about Bad Omens, I've seen them before they were big. Like I'm saying, opener.
Oh yeah, I saw them on like their first tour.
Noah, the vocalist, is from where I'm from in Richmond, Virginia. So like I saw
wow.
him in local bands starting up. I think it's there. He was in a band called Lakeview for like early 2010 ish. And there's like videos you can go on there, YouTube, be like, yeah, we split with Noah for him to pursue his side project. And that side project is
Yeah.
Bad Omens.
I'm honestly like so glad you brought that up because I've always been so curious about what he's done before that band. Because like they just kind of like
He-
sprouted so quickly and
Well,
just like
I mean,
they were
I think
nothing and then they just existed.
Well, I mean, I know a lot about it being watching them from Richmond, like Nick
Right.
and Nick, the bass player, and Noah are from Richmond. I think Nick's still in Richmond, but I think Noah's in LA. And I can spend an hour speaking about where they come from, but Noah's always been ahead of the curve. He was producing bands when he was 15.
Damn.
So like he was already
Yeah.
recording. So he already knows his stuff and he just kept working at it and hustled.
That's cool. Fuck yeah.
Like I get made fun of a lot for always going so early to shows because I always want to see the opener. You have no
Never
idea.
know.
You have no idea if they're going to be the next big thing.
You get made fun of?
Yeah.
What? Okay, those people are wrong and you're a legend.
From
Like,
who?
We need more of you.
Just people that I used to go to shows with. I like getting places early. I do not like being rushed at all.
I
don't
know
like being
that
late.
I know that people will only go for the headliner, but I didn't know people are like, "You're going when the doors open." Like that's weird.
I've had people like
Weird.
people I used to hang out with or whatever used to make fun of me for going early.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's insane because like there's so many bands that you see them first and then you see them get big. I remember, I mean, I've seen Fit for a King a handful of times, and then they saw them when they did Creation Destruction, which
Yep, same.
they recorded in Richmond, Virginia, which is another connection to that. And I just remember like I heard that they're opening, and I was like, wait a second. I remember seeing them in a church with like 50 people in 2011 when they were still on Descendants. So like then seeing them open up for Fit for a King, 40 Days tour, and they wrecked the place as the opener. Like utterly bass drops through. Like I thought the walls were going to fall down because the bass drops wrecked the place. I'm like, yeah, they're going to take over. Literally take over.
Yeah, that album is incredible. A show I will never forget. It was 420 2012. The Loft in Poughkeepsie sold out. The Plot and Use second album release show with I Declare War, Era on Impulse, and then Fit for a King Open and Curation Destruction just came out, and they were a 4-piece. The fifth guy, like he just dipped. It was nuts, absolutely insane. I had that CD in my car for probably 6 months straight. Yeah, that album is incredible. That time was incredible. That was an amazing show.
That album crushed. I've played with Fit for a King twice and seen them about 15, maybe 16 times now.
Damn.
Never played with them, but definitely have seen them around that much. If you played, like they were on Warped Tour every year. They were just always on a tour that you ended up going to.
Yeah, they kept up. I actually even had Daniel from Fit for a King, who also is in Phineas, work on one of my songs with Ciety as producing it.
I didn't know he was in Phineas too.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know that either.
the little dude. Yeah, Daniel Gailey. He's one of the guitar player. Well, the only guitar player of Phineas. Even though he kind of joined like with the second or third record.
Phineas is sick.
Yes, my favorite band,
Really?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Riff City. I'm all about riffs.
For sure. Yeah.
What's the best breakdown you've ever heard?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Little short.
there's so many ones, but
The first one that came to my mind.
I have one that first came to my mind. too.
Well, okay, what do you?
Edge of the Earth by Volumes.
Oh, I thought it was something a bit more modern and obscure than that.
Nah, dude, you think of like
I didn't think of something quote unquote iconic, but Circle of Serpents by Extortionist. It's got like the fucking dodgeball sounding snare. Yeah, that shit's nuts.
I can't think of one. There's too many.
yeah, that's like that's
I
the
mean-
first
I mean,
one that comes to my head.
There are too many, but have you heard the new My Chem? That freaking
It's really
breakdown.
That was really
That
cool.
breakdown was freaking good.
It was
That's
interesting.
cool.
I liked it.
It was. I liked it. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Though. I was not expecting it.
A long song. Like 6 minutes.
The breakdown, but the nuns are watching from I Set My Friends on Fire.
Oh yeah.
I wish I would have heard that in 2008 or 9 or whatever the hell that album came out. Oh my god, I would take me back to when I was like 15. I would have loved. I would have killed to hear that breakdown
Yeah.
as a 15, 16-year-old me. Man, so much shit
Okay.
swept under the rug for me growing
Okay,
up.
going back to the 15-year-old you, if you could write yourself a letter that you got now, what would it say?
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. Get your back checked out quicker, so I'm not crippled. I don't know. That is a very tough question because what I wanted to do when I was 15, I am not doing now.
What did you want to be or want to do?
I wanted to be a soccer player. I was very good at it. I was playing 3 leagues at once at an age 3 years above me, and then
You have
that
something,
did not work out.
something in common with Garrett from Silent Planet. He was like in soccer or something.
Is that right?
Yeah, it like revolves around my life now.
Surprisingly, Gordon Ramsay was as well.
No.
Yeah, he tried to play soccer. He was a soccer player growing up.
And he got injured and he started cooking.
Yeah.
Now I get to watch him yell at people for my entertainment.
It works.
It's great. I would have loved to involve him with something in the band at one point or another somehow.
Sample something with him.
That would be sick.
The idiot sandwich would be kind of funny to sample.
Yeah, that's a great idea. For that aside, we should like collaborate on like a spice we could sell or something. I don't know,
That'd be cool.
like our own like black pepper.
Cajun.
Yeah, Cajun seasoning.
Everyone
know.
has the hot sauce, so you
Yeah,
can't do
we've
that.
got to be a little more creative. Than
How
that.
about taco sauce?
Ooh.
Yeah, you can do taco sauce, but
Can we do our own version of like Old Bay?
like I said, I'm down for like some Cajun type seasoning, bro. I'm so down for that. You go to the South,
adobo.
bro. You go to the South with that shit, dude. I got this Cajun seasoning in Tennessee. It was called Slap Your Mama seasoning. It's
I'm already
awesome.
enticed.
Oh, it's awesome. I put it on everything.
Put that
Dude.
shit on
I put it on
everything.
everything.
It's awesome.
All right, so on the business side of things, how many tours have you been on that you actually didn't break even?
Bro, we don't make money. What are you talking about?
If we wanted to make money,
we
Metal.
make money.
Not
Wait,
playing metalcore.
wait, we make money?
Well,
Would you consider yourself metalcore?
Yeah. What the hell else?
I mean, umbrella term.
Experimental deathcore.
I mean, like we are all over the place in some sense. For like, I mean, I truly think that two songs sound the same. Even
Yeah,
on, like, thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, like basis were metalcore. Regarding the business end of things, dude, there's no fucking money at all. I will tell you, we sold an absolute astronomical shit ton amount of merch on the Attack tour. But but if you really want to factor in like the van rental, the U-Haul, we got hotels every night, 2 rooms every night, just like food, gas. You're not breaking even. But we did like recoup stuff. We did recoup a lot of money, especially with the merch. it's gonna be a while till it's profitable.
We also
but
just put 10K into a new rig.
not even that. Fucking like $12,000, dude. Like we're just putting everything on credit cards and slowly paying it off. But yeah, thankfully for that, the merch that we did on Attack Attack, also our vinyl was paid off the first day we did pre-orders for that. The CDs have been paid off. Yeah, even though like it's not profit, like we are generating a good amount of money, and yeah, we just dumped 12 grand into a whole new setup.
So it's basically becoming a point where you're just self-sufficient, where the money just goes.
Absolutely.
You're not able to pocket anything yet, basically.
We have no intentions
There's
to. No
no-
one asked
yeah.
for that. Dude, we're like gonna just start getting guarantees, hopefully in October.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh yeah. If you guys really want to know, really break it down, like we don't get paid.
Dang.
But that's the sacrifice you make
Mm.
to be that opening band that no one knows about, to prove yourself. Because we really haven't. I mean, like we've proven ourselves the past 2 tours with Attack Attack and I Set My Friends on Fire, and that will show soon. It will show that things are starting to work out.
Those are really sick tours, man. Like I know Nico for a while before he even was full time with y'all, and it was exciting to see that. Like that's why I caught up with him in Greensboro when he came through, because that was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, we go into these tours as if it's the last, but I will say we might have some deja vu coming. So things are cool. Can't complain.
That's so sick. Yeah. I do want to say that real quick before we jump back into it. The reason I say about with your band is like, to me, it makes sense y'all did I Set My Friends on Fire, and I knew friends that booked you at Virginia Beach, the Virginia Beach area. I think
that venue was awesome.
Scandals is dope. That's
Dude.
home. That's home turf for me. I've played in the 757 a lot.
Of
But,
course,
I mean,
some pop just came on.
But legit enough, like I think your vocals are like on the deathcore level. That stuff was insane.
Our vocals, our artwork is very deathcore inspired, but we have a lot of metalcore, like bass.
Like you're like a less like technically like much heavier. I Set My Friends on Fire. Like if you pour deathcore into a Set My Friends on Fire, and then obviously did your own thing on it, that would be you guys. I would say. That's just my opinion.
Sorry. He has music in the background, very dim, and Ravenous Rhinos come up, and I have to do that intro every time I hear the what the fuck. Yeah, sorry. Going to what you said. If you know the song Reasons of Recall, the very heavily electronic song, we actually sent Attack Attack that song prior to the album even being out, and they heard it. I guess they liked what they heard. That was a very big thing into getting that tour, was just hearing us. They wanted a hardworking band. We had a couple vouches of people we're very thankful for that were like, hey, like these guys actually fucking sell tickets. They hustle. And we're very fortunate for those recommendations. Attack Attack heard it, liked it, and yeah, the rest is history. So that was confirmed first, even though the Issenfoff tour happened before. So if we weren't confirmed for that Attack Attack tour, we wouldn't have been considered for the Issenfoff tour.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, let's be real. There is not a better 2 bands to go on tour with, especially when you have an old school metalcore sound, than Attack Attack and I Set My Friends on Fire. It couldn't have been better.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. You know your audience, that's for sure.
I mean, dude, it's all luck. It was not knowing our audience. It was just like, hey, those were the opportunities that were just coming across that we got the attention of, and our manager did the rest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, extremely fortunate, lucky. Like I'm fortunate, but I think it's more luck than anything.
I mean, I don't think it's also a mistake working with Chris Wiseman, who is pretty much now an industry professional as much as he is a musician. I mean, he's got Beacon Management, so like I can't imagine that didn't have some play into it.
No.
Not at all.
Wiseman has he's helped us in the production end, and that's it. Go ahead.
I literally saw people like saying this band just recorded with Chris Wiseman, and this is the new thing, and then Not Fest, or they posted about you guys are the next new thing, and they were talking.
Yeah, so to timeline everything, Chris has only helped us on the production end. But like, if I have a question, like, hey, like, something about a tour, something about like a quantity of merch, or like, he'll help me out there. But we have never went to him and was like, hey, you think you can get us on that? Like our manager John Damiano has done all of that. He does a lot of bands in various genres, not even bands, solo artists, and then he'll do Wizard Fest, and he has his own string of emo nights. So he is very aware of just venues, agents, and all of that. Yeah, that's how it worked out.
That's sick. So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
While Robert is
Sorry.
getting situated. No, that's cool. So you guys are more up north for everybody. How do you feel about the scene up there? And then being that you've already toured the part of the country, not the whole country at this point, correct? Just more on the east and
Just
mid.
east.
Just
Pretty much. So how do you feel about like the scene coming from where you are versus like what you've seen going around these couple tours you've done?
So the scene bias is dope, but the more that we explore the rest of the country, I think we found a few specific areas that we definitely like a bit more than home.
Oh man.
As far as our like, previous to our touring experience goes, we've always actually had a bigger following in Pennsylvania than we did in New York, where we're from. We always like went out and played all the big pre-sale shows in like Philly and Easton, as opposed to like New York City or like North Jersey or anywhere like that. I
Have
don't
you
know
ever
why.
played? You ever played in Allentown?
Yeah, we played Allentown. We were there last October. Like one of the last shows we did.
The
of the year.
cafe, or
Yeah, we were at Sportsman's.
because Croc Rock's not there anymore.
Yeah, we never got to play there, unfortunately.
I wasn't even in a band when that venue was there.
Yeah, I didn't even play like metal when that place was around.
Have you ever played Lucky 13?
Nah.
Is that the New York City venue?
Yeah, that's in Brooklyn, I believe.
I played there with a rapper friend with those Afton, those not Afton. No, Afton's like a Rochester or something company. There is this company in New York City that would do like low end pre-sale shows, and my rapper friend AK40 Devin, I used to drum for him, and we played there. It was like a rap showcase at Lucky 13.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah, it was, but it was pretty dope. I also played with Afro Man at Dingbats. If you know what,
I love that. Dingbats by me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I played with my rapper friend for Afro Man.
Yeah, it's about maybe 45 minutes away from where I am.
Yeah, it's Clifton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be going there soon.
But other than that, like Atlanta has always been really good to us.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then Florida is like our favorite spot right now. Honestly, like every show we've played in Florida has been lit as fuck.
A thing I wanted to say that he didn't cover was we're from Rockland County, which is a very small county. It's above New York City. We don't say it's upstate, but I guess it's upstate to everyone else. Since it's so small, there really is no scene. So that's why we had to resort to doing shows outside of New York. For some reason, we could never get booked in Poughkeepsie, the Chance. We got booked the Loft. Actually, so yeah, we did start in the Loft in Poughkeepsie with the first few pre-sale shows. But then like we tried to get the Chance, couldn't get the Chance, and then the scene kind of like died out up there. And again, we don't have a scene by us. So then we went to Jersey, then we started doing PA, then like we started getting fans in PA, then like we were starting to like draw more in PA than in New York. And then we started doing Rhode Island. That was pretty cool. Yeah, we hit like Texas and like a little of the South with Scarlett O'Hara, which was our first actual tour. But other than that, it's just been a little weekenders. And then these tours we've done this year on the East Coast. Like he said, Atlanta is a second home for us. Florida in general, specifically Orlando, second home for us.
That's funny you say that, because when I heard you say Poughkeepsie, I'm like, so Left to Suffer, you probably heard that band from Atlanta. The manager from.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say Jeff.
Yeah, we know Jeff.
Yeah, I was about to say you might have ended up
booked our first show.
Oh, he did. So he was
actually, yeah.
So he was still part of the Loft at that time when you played.
Yeah.
It was I think this was the last show he ever booked. It was with September Morning, which was our first pre-sale show. I think
Really?
we had to do like 20, 25 tickets. We brought like 30 people. And yeah, that was our first pre-sale show.
Oh, dope.
Yeah,
Jeff-
Jeff Menig's a cool guy. He did like
ran
a
the scene up
everybody.
here back
He's
in
the
the
best.
day.
he did a little social media course for Miles and I, and he told us a little doohickeys with Facebook and like Instagram and stuff, just like little things that were just like will help reach and stuff like that. And yeah, he definitely knows us. Shout out to him. Cool
Yeah,
guy.
I've done a
Awesome
couple
dude.
consults with him, and I've had Love to Suffer on one of my songs, Taylor on one of my songs. So like, I have a special heart, like soft spot for those boys.
They're really
Yeah.
nice guys.
Jeff Menig's really cool. Left to Suffer is definitely dope. Little heavier than us.
It makes sense that in Florida, because you guys are still on the heavy end. That like, yeah, bands like Bottom Feeder and Body Snatcher down there. No,
Florida is
Spe-
nuts,
speaking-
dude.
Speaking of Body Snatcher, I just had Chris on recently.
Yeah.
oh nice, 7076 recordings.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I don't know what it is about Florida, but I feel like as someone who's lived in New York, I feel like people go to Florida to move there and they just treat it as like a vacation the whole rest of their life. It just seems like such a party down there, dude.
Everyone
Every
that
time we're
lives there
there,
is just always on vacation.
Oh,
like that is
yeah,
their
it's-
mentality 24/7.
nuts
and
down
it's
there,
awesome.
dude.
Like I asked so many people while we're on tour in Florida what they think of the whole Florida man concept, and every single one of them just fucking love it. Like they're all about it. Like they're crazy
Dude,
down there.
when we played in Orlando with I Set My Friends on Fire, it was at a tiny venue. It wasn't tiny, it's just like the staging
it
area
was
was
a
kind of tiny.
250 capacity, oversold by like
Ah.
75 people.
Yeah, it was like 250 cap and like 350 people came out. And that's not including like the bands. It was nuts. Like we were outside chilling, like after our set, like talking to people, and like there's people, everyone's like smoking, chilling. Some people are doing donuts in the parking lot, someone's shooting fireworks. Like it's just fucking nuts. Like it's just always crazy there. Even when we played with Attack, it was just insane. People were showing up to the show already with their shirts that they got at the Issamphah Florida shows back in January.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was just so cool, dude. It's so cool being there, dude.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Florida's awesome.
Okay, so,
Especially when you're so far away.
all right, this has always been a debate. Do you wear the merch of the band that you were seeing that night?
I wore my self-titled Attack pre-order T-shirt on tour with them, dude, and I wore it with fucking pride.
That's sick.
I
That is-
never understood why people like had a problem with you wearing the shirt of the band you're seeing. Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I mean, like, there's a lot that's changed over the years that I just don't understand.
No,
I
but like
don't
I even
understand.
remember when people like talked down against that. It never made sense to me. And like now it's like a little more accepted. Like sometimes we even wear our own merch at our shows.
I always do. I don't care what anyone says.
I
In
mean,
the summer,
we wear
I
our
wear my own
shorts all the
shorts.
time. That's for sure.
I'm wearing my own merch right now.
Yeah, like,
But-
and dude, it's
Like, who
promoted.
cares? It's clothing.
In the summer, I wear my shorts every day. In the winter, I wear my hoodie every day. I carry 10 stickers with me at all times. But yeah, going back to the other bands, like, dude, once I saw this shirt, which is an incredible
You
design,
got your lanyard right
Yeah,
now.
I
with our
bought
logo on it.
yeah, I bought this and wore this while on tour at Attack. Like, I bought merch from everyone. I bought Conquer Device shirt. I wore it the next day. Until I wake and or was it some of the Attack dudes were wearing our stuff. Issamphah was wearing our stuff. Like that's pretty cool when the other bands are like wearing our merch. Like we weren't really even asking them to. That's pretty fucking cool.
When everybody's trading shirts and stuff on tour.
Yeah, it's like sports people trading jerseys. We just trade merch.
That's dope. That's so cool.
yeah, but yeah, like why not? Who cares?
Yeah, that stigma's stupid.
That's where I'm at.
So, Robert, how do you feel about that, being that you brought it up?
Yeah. Curious.
Honestly, I really wouldn't. I don't care as much. You know, if you're going to the show, I've bought a shirt at the show and put that over my other shirt. Like it's not so I wouldn't lose it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's one of those things. Like I don't know. I just think it's weird because I know people have other things to say about. But actually, really, I mean, my biggest thing is wearing a band shirt. You don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Name 3 songs. Name 3 songs.
That's kind of like one of my, I don't want to say pet peeve, but that's kind of like one of my things. Like,
The 3 Nirvana songs. Go.
Bro, you're wearing an I Set My Friends on Fire shirt. Name every firefighter.
Can you believe that actually happened to Courtney? Like, apparently she went to the gym wearing an Every Time I Die,
Yeah, I
and
heard
it's
about
and
that.
that happened. And I'm like, they replaced Every Time I Die. You know, when Every Time I Die broke up, they did that. You know, they got off that tour because they broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox and Bad Omens. I'm like, do you not know this is Metal Queen, bro?
Yeah, it's very elitist. I don't really fuck with it.
yeah, like it boggles my mind sometimes. I'm like, oh, it's my boyfriend's shirt. I'm like, okay, cool.
You know, it's interesting. You go to festivals, and that's like more like welcomed than an actual like venue show. You know,
Yeah.
literally, you know, I went to Epicenter and Blue Ridge, and I played Blue Ridge last year, and like when I knew like the day's headliner or one of the top headliners, like most of the crowd had their shirt, like
Yeah.
with no
That's what
problem.
you- That's what you do to show support. You wear their shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like when you see people show up to shows with
Where
your
are
shirt,
you supposed to wear the
it's
shirt?
very empowering.
Oh, man.
You wear your merch to the grocery store to all the people who don't know about metal. That's
Yeah,
what it's with.
They look at it, they get confused, and keep walking. Like, you know, like these people actually know what they're looking at least.
One time I went to a little like food truck thing near my house, and some guy came up to me. He's like that design's dope. Who is it? And I told him it was a Phineas shirt, and he was like, "Let me go get it." And literally pulled it out. I'm like, this guy probably has never listened to metal ever in his life, and just because the design was dope, bought a Phineas shirt right in front of me. So Phineas, you hear this? I love you. Royalties.
No, but like it's, I mean, it starts conversation. It's a conversational piece.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, can you imagine for some of us who've been going to shows for a long time, you'll be like, oh, wait a second, that's the shirt from that tour or something like that. Those kind of things. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the whole tour, like they do the actual like dates of the tour. I'm not a big fan of those. I mean, it's cool and all, and I get it. But it's like, to me, that's like a hack. Like, I'd rather go to a show and be like, wait a second, you did that at 2017. That's like one of those shirts. Like if someone had the original Attack with the monster, like you'd be like, whoa, this person's a throwback.
Yeah, that's the shirt I wore.
Exactly. So,
But like I get the shirts outside the venue sometimes, like, you know, as you're leaving, you know, those guys that come up and $10 for you know.
You're lucky if they're charging you $10 outside the venue.
Well,
I'm ready. Like tomorrow, I go see Slipknot. I walk outside after, they'd be like, "Yeah, you want this shirt? $70. Here you go."
No, I mean literally, talk them down.
I asked for an XL. I got a small.
they better be giving the royalties and
Right. So, what was the best concert you've ever been to, and the worst? Not playing.
Been to. I can tell you the worst. The worst, and it wasn't the concert. It was just a specific band set. Was Summer Slaughter in like 2018, I think. It was the Faceless. Like they played really fucking well. They just like, I don't know why, like we're just so boring to watch for some reason. And they play like way too long. And I'm like a really big fan of them, so just like super disappointed for some reason. I don't know. They just didn't do it. And like Michael Keaton was like on heroin, so that was like not fun. But yeah. Best I don't know. After the Barrel always puts on a really good show, so probably like any of their shows.
After Burial rules.
Yeah, they're sick live. I saw them with the Acacia Strain on that Continent and Rare Form tour.
Oh,
Yeah,
so lucky.
yeah, that was sick as fuck.
I don't know if I can talk about the worst show I've been to, just because it's just not right to talk down to them. But I will talk about a favorite set, because, dude, I've been to so many shows and I really have to think about it. But a set, and I want to clarify before I talked about A Day to Remember and a Little Wayne. That was actually Bamboozle. That was Bamboozle. So I'm going to talk about Skate and Surf now, which was at Six Flags. It was pouring rain, and Of Mice and Men was playing with Austin. The original lineup was there, and it was pouring rain, and nothing but drum and bass was working. So they had to play. So all you heard was drum and bass. You heard the crowd doing the lyrics, and like Austin was there yelling. And right before the breakdown, right before the Waka sample that they do, before the OG Loco breakdown, all the instruments kicked in. And, oh my God, it was amazing.
Oh my God.
It was amazing. Pouring rain, everyone's going nuts. That's something I'll never forget.
I think I know what I think the best show you've been to is, and it's not that one.
Which one was it?
It's the other Six Flags event.
Oh, festival?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I went to the show where Roddy Radke threw the mic stand.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there. It was called Fest Evil at Six Flags. That was the first time I saw bands like Born of Osiris and like The Air I Breathe and shit like that. And I was
They're
just
a
like,
bunch of nice guys.
because I was like just getting into like the scene then. So I was very familiar with a lot of shit. And obviously my favorite bands were like We Car and Icy Stars. So I was so excited to see them. And apparently there was a fight on the second stage with a bunch of like the heavier bands. And Icy Stars gave like this local band like 10 minutes of their time. And I was like, what the fuck are these guys? Where's Icy Stars? Like, what is this? But yeah, after Icy Stars, Falling in Reverse came on. And people were pouring out, and the people who remained got a mic stand thrown at them. That was interesting. Those are interesting days. Those are interesting days.
Wow.
Yeah, talk about a turnaround.
I'm gonna have to say when they first came out, Hoobastank. Worst.
Oh man.
Worst stage presence. Worst.
I'm kind of curious about yours. Your worst, though. I'm curious. I set my friends on fire. Sure, I'm really curious though. I want to know, but you don't have to say it.
I'll tell you off stream.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
It sucks. I actually can't say it. It's just like, like, not trying to be that guy. I guess we have a platform now, so
Yeah, of course.
I actually have to watch what I say now. It sucks. I actually just got off of a 30-day Zuck ban on Facebook for something I said last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
No one's safe.
What's up?
In what?
Yeah.
In an MLS trash talk room.
No one's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Well, that group is shot because like the actual league got involved because people were like doing so like the trolling got to a level where it like went out of the group, and yeah, everyone's soft nowadays. So like the teams were like getting involved.
Oh wow.
GG.
Wow.
Yeah, people were getting phone calls from like their clubs who were like, "Hey, we see you posting on this. You keep posting on it. We're not going to let you come to games." Stupid.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
everyone's
crazy.
soft nowadays.
Wow.
Can't even talk shit anymore.
So, what's your best then, Robert? You said Hoobastank's your worst.
I'm gonna still stand by the first Family Value store.
Hell yeah.
So what band then? Just the whole thing was like one memorable night or something?
Yeah, that was. You had to think about it. You had Korn, you had Rob Stein, you had Orgy, you had Ice-T.
Yeah, we have Ice.
I'm sorry. No, Ice Cube. I'm sorry. Ice Cube was there. You had Limp Bizkit. Like, yeah. I mean,
I remembered. I had to think.
What's up?
I had to think, but I thought the best show I ever went to was in Clifton Park, New York, which is upstate near Albany. This was the After Image opening, so I finally got to hear like the Searching and all of that before they became Brand of Sacrifice. Which, if you don't know, it's the same 5 band members. They just rebranded.
Wild.
So it was the After Image. It was Invent Animate with Ben and Everchanger, the only thing out. Then it was Polyphia with their second album, Fan Funded.
Wow.
Renaissance wasn't even out yet. And then I believe it was Era, and this was when the EP Moments of Clarity came out when they first signed a Sumerian. So this was Ian, the only tour Ian did before he tore his vocals and left. Yeah.
Did we see the same tour? I feel like there's another one that they did with. I saw an Era with Ian.
Maybe he did another, but like that was like their first headlining tour.
Okay.
And that was, I'm pretty sure that was the only tour Ian did. I could be wrong, but he left shortly after.
There was another one that I saw literally. It was the first tour they did, and I remember that because it was in Northern Virginia, and you just see this gigantic dude. Was he in Bermuda or?
I'm not sure of his past, to be honest with you.
So he goes on, and he's guy's jacked, like he's just
big.
And he goes, and the crowd, it was hilarious because he goes, "I'm Ian," and he drops the mic. He's like, "Oh," and then he goes, "Oh shit," and the whole crowd chants in between songs, "Oh shit." Oh, shit. After every song, he's like, "Oh shit!" Oh, I thought that was like a super memorable moment. That like he couldn't even say anything. Everyone just kept saying, "Oh shit" the whole night, the whole set.
Yeah, that was like, like Era's my favorite band, and like Everchanger by Invenanimate's a close second, and then like the After Image was like also one of my favorite metalcore acts. So that was like a dream tour for me.
I grew up on After Image, and I feel like I heard that, but I didn't believe it. That's insane, though.
Yeah, that was really dope. Then they're Brand of Sacrifice.
Wow. It makes sense. Wow.
And yeah, they're fucking killing it.
Yeah. Speaking of Ice-T real quick though, even though it was Ice Cube, like I just saw Body Count at Blue Ridge. I was like, yes. I felt like I was amidst legends.
How's a mosh pit for that?
Nobody really moshed that much. People were just kind of in awe. It was funny. So Blue Ridge is in like the country of Virginia, like really
in it on the way back on tour.
So basically, like he was like, "Y'all better know you're special out here," because when we got out here, we were like, "This is a setup," because they had to drive through fields, literally in the country. Like people had to walk hills and park in the hills. That's how country this was. So they were like, "This is a setup." But no, there wasn't really a mosh pit as much as people like shouting and sing because they're very punk. So but it was pretty awesome.
What's that?
I guess I can do my worst and best.
Yeah.
It's hard to do a best because I think I'll have to go with Meshuggah. I've seen Meshuggah twice. I feel like I've lived a good life.
Yeah.
The first time was kind of weird because it was Tesseract, Meshuggah, and Megadeth. So kind of a weird tour.
That's interesting.
That is kind of weird.
That's amazing, though.
And there's another band that was like a super group with members from Hatebreed or something. I don't remember what it was called, but I kind of was like, okay, I'm just hanging with friends first. But I first saw it didn't seem like they were into it. They were just kind of standing there, which I know they mostly stand there anyways. But I saw them at Epicenter, and a bunch of my friends were there. We all rolled up because we all love Meshuggah, and they were getting into it, and they did Rational Gaze. So we all know the meme, right?
Yeah.
A whole group, like 25 people, all my friends and a couple other people were doing the whole Wolves of Wall Street meme. And he's like to try to keep time, but like pointed at us. And I remember walking away from that set with my brain, like my brain cells were bleeding out of my ears. I was like, my head hurts. And it was hard for me to believe that I saw Korn like 2 hours later. And even Korn, like as amazing as it was, I was like, Meshuggah fucked my head up. I hate saying it like that, but it was like, After the Burial did a set with Azalea Dying in a Mirror, and that was another show that was amazing.
After the Burial is so good live.
But this is the funny part. So Lost in the obviously it's just one guitar player.
Yeah.
Lost in the Static cuts off halfway with the tracks.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no.
Right before the breakdown, right before that part. So like, they had to actually jump back into it, and they did it a little before. And Anthony was about to do the part, and he's like, "Oh, when everybody did the blah for him, and just a big wall of death happened." And then they played Berserker afterward, and I don't know. I feel like someone was purposely throwing me across the pit Like, there was no circle pit. It was me being ping ponged. That was an insane. Like, I think those are some of the two memorable ones. That and Lamb of God.
Oh, hell yeah.
When they played Welcome Me in Hell, I like nearly cried because it was endless.
I saw My Chemical Romance by accident.
What?
What?
This was the last skate and surf that they ever held. Originally at Asbury Park. And
Okay, I remember that.
Blink-182 is supposed to play, and the owner, the guy I forgot his name. He gets on stage and he goes, yeah, so Blink-182 is not playing. Here's My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, so casually.
And I'm not a big fan of Blink, and I love My Chem, so I freaked the fuck out. And then they broke up after that.
Wow.
Well, then he started doing his solo for a while.
Yeah.
And now they're back.
Glad
Yep.
they're back.
About time.
Worst. My worst. Honestly, I think this is gonna sound weird, but I think the worst memory of, and this might be very subjective, is like the shows I played personally. There's like 2 shows that I actually played that it's like the imprint of me playing those shows and how bad I did erases any bad performance that could have ever happened. So it's like, you ever had that where you played a show and it's like the whole night was amazing, but you can never forget your set, and you're like, I feel bad for anybody that was on the other side of the stage.
Yeah.
But did you grow from that experience though?
Yeah. This one was like, we had a show that basically broke up the band. We were opening up for the 3rd iteration of the Every Trick in the Book tour. Oh, no, sorry, the 2nd iteration, part 2. Ice 9 Kills, Plan You, Dayseeker.
Oh, we opened one of those.
We did that. Carousel Kings opened that.
Yeah, Carousel Kings too.
Yeah,
And
I got that show because of Dayseeker. I didn't know Ink and Plot were playing it till like months later. I was freaking out because we were not deep into the shows at that time.
yeah, I
That was a
remember
good
that
show.
we bombed that, and I like walked on stage and I just didn't show up for 2 hours. I was like, I don't want to be seen.
It's actually the first show I played to a click track on drums.
Oh wow.
For one song.
I was shitting myself. It was one song. It was Riot. I was literally like a robot. And I remember Rory watching from Dayseeker, and I go, what'd you think? And he goes, you were kind of stiff. And I go, yeah, no shit. I was shitting bricks. But yeah, no, that was awesome. That was so cool.
Yeah, I can't think of a bad one. I mean, I've had some that I wasn't a fan of, but I can't think of a really worst one.
Oh, we had a show where the band didn't show up. This was like literally one of our first shows. Miles and I just did like a drum and bass set. We did like 10 minutes of just jamming, improvising. Then we played like 2 of our songs, and then these idiots showed up, and we actually played one song.
Before I was in the band.
We're way
I'm
before.
not the idiot.
Yeah, way before he was in the band, and that was like the turning point where it's like, hey, like, you guys want to keep doing this or not?
It's like, show up to the show.
Yeah, it's like you can't even like get to the fucking show. Like this whole journey was almost over before it started many times.
So many times.
We just kept at it. Yeah, before you tried canceling us. What? Yeah, so there was many times where this could have hit the fan like quickly. But dude, we've kept at it, and it's the persistent shows.
I would say, I think the worst, I wouldn't say the worst, but one of the ones that I was like most disappointed in was Starset. I was so disappointed. I was like, I really loved that second record, and they just sounded like they like partially detuned everything.
What?
Even the vocals were like partially detuned. So like everything just sounded flat. Everything just sounded flat the whole time.
That's
even
weird.
even the drums. Like if you could detune drums, they sounded flat.
So weird.
It was just like very sad. Even the violins, they had a violin player. It just was like, what did I watch? And they were jamming. And I'm like, okay, I'm walking away. I'm bummed. I have to play 2 hours later, so I did not want to be bummed.
Okay, this question is for all 3 of you. What song do you think describes you as a person?
Damn.
I can't.
You could pick 2 if you need to.
Okay.
2. I can't even think of one.
I have 2, but yeah.
I want to hear your 2 while we think.
Like lyrically, musically, like
If you have to send it to somebody without saying anything to describe who you are,
I'm gonna go Skyline by Era,
Oh,
which
Oh,
is
dope.
actually a
Oh.
drift song, and you know me, I'm an Augment
I
guy.
love that song.
But yeah, that because it's just like it has the
melody.
beautifulness to it with the metal. It's just
Yeah,
it's very empowering when you hear that ending, bro. All the atmosphere with the tapping and the breakdown. It's just
Actually, I got one because I was listening to it tonight. Reflection by Balance and Composure.
Balance and Composure is all the feels. Like,
Dude.
That's
so good.
like literally, I feel like he speaks to me and makes me feel things.
It's like I get the same feeling listening to like Turnover, you know? Like I
That,
put peripheral vision on and I'm like, that's the mood I'm in.
Movements for me is the same.
feel
way.
something by moments you
Oh.
can't listen to
Without
all
crying.
the time. You really can't.
Like I'm feeling things. Can I not? So mine's gonna be super. I'm gonna give you one super corny, but
okay.
Cold from Crossfade. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just because the lyrics as like literally that chorus, I feel like I say that to people naturally. I
Dude,
really meant to say that. I'm sorry for the way. I literally feel like I say that all the time to people. So it's like I'll just throw the song at you. I don't care.
I can't tell anyone nothing about what they pick because I literally just don't read like lyrics like at all. Like I'm so bad at it. I like need to do that more. Like it's like the worst problem. My worst habit is not reading fucking lyrics. So like I can like never actually like connect with songs like on that level because I never actually read the lyrics. Like if the vocal phrasing sounds nice in my head, it's like good enough for me.
What about musically then? If you can describe yourself musically in 2 songs, I guess would be another way you can do it.
Yeah, I
man.
didn't. I chose mine musically because mine. I don't. Yeah,
Right.
like I pay attention to lyrics, but for a lyrically to describe me, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's tough. But like musically, just like to describe myself, like Skyline is definitely the song I would go with.
I'll actually go with one that randomly happens to be on right now is Ragnarok by Periphery because they're my favorite band and like influenced everything I do on guitar. So yeah, P2 is like the fucking record.
If I want to like weird someone out, I would put on Gandhi Mate Gandhi by Enter Shikari.
Yo, that's dope. I feel like Serenity from Volumes from the Via record. That
Best record.
Like yeah, like I think that would be one of those. Sometimes go ahead.
Wormholes, Edge of the Earth, the whole album. I mean, I mentioned Edge of the Earth before, but just the whole album is just incredible.
I saw the Via release tour with In Dying Arms, and I'm friends with Orion, so I went to go see them, and they played the 20.
Man,
yeah, I had him on one of my songs too. Funny enough,
he hopped up with us when we came through Baltimore for one song.
Yeah, he's the homie for sure.
He's the man.
Shout out to Orion if he ever sees this. But yeah,
Sure.
So I saw them on tour, and they came to Richmond. It was like 25 people, and then I played a month later on the Thrash and Burn tour, and there are 300 people packed in that venue for Volumes. And when Wormholes dropped, I think I got kicked in the back twice.
Yeah.
You say Thrash and Burn?
Yeah, Thrash and Burn.
Holy shit.
2011. Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Periphery might have been on that.
No, they did the Frack the Gods tour around that time.
Oh, no, they did 2010, my bad. No, yeah, it was Frack the Gods. They did 2011.
I think they did 2009, they did Summer Slaughter. So
yeah, some shit like that. But
yeah.
We played with Volumes on their different Animals of Release run, but when I was 17 and when Via was out, I saw them at Warped Tour, and this was pre-back surgery, so I loved pitting. I was scared. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That pit at Warped Tour for Wormholes was scary.
It's still ignorant like that. I saw a video, and when it sounds flawless still. Rip to Diego.
Dude, in their heyday with that original lineup, wow.
Their lineup now is like pretty fire.
I do like
they
Mike
sound
Terry.
great now live.
I do like Mike Terry though.
Yeah, he's
I think
fucking awesome.
they have
Richmond boy.
at least vocally they're in their best lineup right now.
I agree. 100,000% agree.
You get Michael Barr and Mike Terry And I'm gonna have
so far.
and Mike Terry's from Chesterfield, Richmond, Virginia. So like I'm already gonna be vouching for that. And I remember watching Bury Your Dead growing up, and he was in that game.
Yeah.
So to me, like, but hearing obviously like the different animals, you hear finite, and you're like, they get
Beautiful.
Matt's
You can't hate on it.
it's like okay, serenade me, why don't you?
I miss the old sound, but the new sound's just fine.
Yeah, their new record, Happier, is really good.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we saw them when
Not
Black
me.
Lotus played. No, who was it? Miles and I went.
I didn't get to go.
We did see him recently though.
I feel weird now because like I hung out with Diego for a little bit because I opened up that show, and looking back in it, I kind of feel embarrassed because I was like I burned a CD of my demo and I gave it to him, and he just put it in his pocket, and I'm like, now I look back, it's like I shouldn't have done that. Just leave him alone. He's a producer. He was a producer, so I was like, what do you think of these songs? Because he's a producer. Well, it didn't do anything for me, because I was like, ah.
I don't know.
It happens.
You took a
Yeah.
shot. What, I mean, what
Yeah.
else?
Well, I didn't even. It was literally one of those burn CDs you buy from Walmart.
It's
I didn't have a jewel case or anything, so that thing probably got scratched up. It was like, oh, I can't listen to it straight out.
but if you don't take a shot, you'll never know.
Yeah,
That's
very
right.
true. Very true. It's always cool when you get to open up for a band and they actually want to talk to you. That's how I felt when I played with Phineas. That's my favorite band. So getting to play with Phineas and Within the Ruins, like in
Ooh.
like I was like, that was such a great show. It was so wild. And like and
sick.
Within the Ruins and Great American Ghost. What a great
Love Within the Ruins.
Great
Me too.
American Ghost is a great band. They my buddy Carl just joined them on bass. They're in
nice.
Europe right now with Sentinels and Fit for an Autopsy. They're killing it.
Sentinels. Oh my god.
Sentinels is like
They're
I'm-
from they're up closer to you, aren't they? Like
yeah,
Jersey?
they're in Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm like so stoked that they're like getting the recognition that they actually finally deserve, because the amount of shows I've played with them to like a solid 2 people is just way too many.
Wow.
Like I'm cool with playing to the 2 people, but they deserve playing to way more than 2 people. So
Maybe-
yeah, good for them for sure.
Maybe y'all should do a tour together since y'all are closer. Y'all link up.
That'd be dope for sure. I'm gonna
Now that everybody's gone platforms now, you know, y'all
Yeah.
they're doing tours. That'd be sick.
yeah.
Facts.
Oh, Great American Ghost in them.
All right. So if there's one thing you could change with the industry, what would you want to change?
Oh man. I
I
wish people had longer attention spans, if anything. I wish I had a longer attention
I wish
span.
I wish there
I
was
used to.
I wish there was just an easier way for people in the industry to take notice without just hearing it from someone or, you know, anything like that. I mean, I can't really complain because we're finally getting the opportunities now, but it just like for the people that really make the decisions up there, I just wish there was an easier way for them to see the little things, not just us getting on stage, more of how we hustle after the show, the numbers of merch that we're doing after these shows, increase in social media retention over time, just little things like that, rather than just getting the opportunity of playing the show itself.
But with life, it's a numbers game, no matter what you do.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
dude. I know.
You're
I
just
know.
you're just a number.
We're a very, very small fish in the absolute biggest fucking ocean possible. So
I feel you.
it's very hard because not only are we competing with other like bands that actually deserve it, but and all the bands that have the connections that just, you know, I wouldn't say don't deserve it, but just have the connections to get these opportunities, whether they have the pull, the draw, the numbers or not. So, I mean, you know, he's got to do it.
You know, one of the things, maybe not exactly industry, and I think you guys are kind of like you're a band that's coming kind of after the whole, you know, past couple of years. Like, I wish we could somehow convey to just fans and whatnot, like what we really go through to get to be able to play. Like you literally you saying like you guys like basically are just enough money to keep the band going. You're not able to live off of anything you make from the band. And I feel like if people can stress, like you seeing now, like people say gas is $5 plus, buy a shirt. You're seeing that. I wish like we can convey like I told my coworker that I do rock metal. He's like, "Oh, you making the money?" It's like, no, like no, like I mean, I'm working here in the same place as you. I don't make money, and I think if we were, I wish that would be the one thing like convey to I don't want to say normies or anything, like just the audiences, the people that like this music, like without them, there is no existence. Like literally, as morbid as that sounds, like just like we couldn't do this. Like the tens of thousands we put into our own pockets and side hustles we pull and probably still pull to make this possible. I wish that could be like conveyed versus like you can write beats and no respect to them, of course, with like rappers and SoundCloud rappers and things like that. But we're buying guitars and basses and rigs and studio time while some of these people can just drop some beats and get one of these and call it a day.
I think people don't realize how tiring touring is, how much goes into touring, but even just the little things like going like to pre-sale tickets, for example, we had to explain a lot of people what pre-sale tickets were and like how that works and stuff like that, and how beneficial it is to get your tickets from us. That's a big thing. It's mainly not just being in a band. It's like how the industry just works in a whole.
Yeah, I think like if we got more people to understand that, then they can understand like if you're friends and you love this band, you're the only reason that they're able to do it if you buy the tickets from them or merch or anything like that. Like I've seen too many shows where only the headliner gets merch sales. Like literally. Like the headliner I would open up the show and we sell our 50, sell our 75. And then the headliner has a really fat guarantee. And I would see the sheet and then I would see the other 4 bands get like $100. Same tour package.
Hey, that's gonna be us soon.
Yeah.
And then like the bands like sold maybe 5 shirts between the 3 of them combined.
That's the thing. It's like between, barely breaking even, all the expenses. It's like I would love for there to be some like black and white way for people to just understand that like we are doing this for the music and for no other reason, because if there was another reason, we wouldn't be playing metalcore. like I said earlier,
It literally broke down to this guy what a guarantee is for a band. Like just a coworker, he was like, what do you mean like you don't make money? I'm like, well, so you could play a show that you drive 5 hours to and burn $100 of gas and you get $100 guarantee and you somehow survive off of $2 for the day. And then you gotta pay your manager and then you gotta pay the label. And he's like, what? Like the math does not make sense.
I also wish that honesty was more like prevalent. Like most people are just not willing to be honest that like that. Like, I don't know why we would lie and say that we make money because we don't. Like guys like Dean Lamb, for example, from Archspire, like he's always really willing to go into really in-depth detail about him and his business. Adam Neely just did a really good video. The title of the video was "How We Almost Lost $17,000 on Tour," and it's like it's shit like that. Like like I think he barely broke even on his last tour because of all these like unexpected expenses. Like one guy got COVID, they had to pay for all these flights and things like that. Like it's not cheap, like doing this shit.
Thinking about that, getting like merch, like dude, we put like $8,000 on a credit card for merch, and we didn't get enough. Like I thought this was too much. Like we were wiped. Like it's we got to scale quickly, and it's very interesting because we just figure this out as we go.
Yeah,
that's insane. Sorry, go ahead, Robert.
Maybe we should do an episode of breaking it down for people.
I would love to do that. I'm here for that.
Yeah, we can definitely, talk about that business stuff. Like I would love for there to be, like I said, that honesty more in the industry about that.
My door is always open for it.
Yeah.
We'll just have to figure out a night that we can do it.
Yeah, man.
But do you have any messages for your fans?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
We tell you can go to our statuses. Like we are very in depth with our supporters. Um, we tell them like we're nothing without you guys. Um, it's so important to really anything, not even as a musician, but just to make sure that the support is aware that that you're cared for, that you're loved for, that you guys actually have like a purpose. Because we're literally here because of the people who listen to our music. For everyone who pre-ordered that on vinyl, where there we go. Yeah, there's names on the back of the vinyl jacket for that record. Completely fan funded. All of our physical media is pretty much fan funded. Other merch, we don't tap into the merch money. But our message to them is, yeah, pretty much just thank you. And please keep supporting. We're not going anywhere. And it's just a slow grind to as big as we can get. You got anything?
Pretty much hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. That's it.
Rob, do you have any more questions?
I don't think so. I'm pretty good.
Then we're just gonna go into the promotion time now, where you're gonna be, where to be followed, and everything else.
Yeah,
So you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at ATWWT Band, and Facebook and YouTube at Across White Wartower. And you can also hit our website at atwwt.com, where there's merch, ticket links, and all that other good stuff. So, yeah. And you can also follow my personal at Evan Fork Gang and Steven's personal at Steven ATWWT on Instagram.
That I don't use. Ay.
So, yeah, I think that's it.
It's awesome.
I would like to thank all of you for coming in, and have
Yeah,
a great
man,
night.
thanks for having us.
And have a great night, guys.
Dude, thank you so much for having us. Seriously, really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Apologies for the half-hour setback.
That's fine.
No, thank you.